Hi, I'm Sam Ellman. I'm a sustainability chemist with specialties in biodegradable materials and environmental toxicology, and today I'll be taking a question from Reddit user Making It Green, who asks, do microplastics themselves ever break down into their elemental constituents and become harmless? I always see talk of microplastics getting smaller and smaller over hundreds of years, etc., but I've always wondered, what's the actual endgame and how long it's taken for, say, a polyethylene bag to fully go away into the soil? Open now your hymnals to the book of microplastics. From dinosaur juice you came, and to dinosaur juice you shall return. Jokes aside, while that is mostly true, there is more nuance to it. Microplastics will break down in two ways. Plastics are made mostly of carbon, so over the course of hundreds or thousands of years, microplastics will combine with oxygen from the air with the help of sunlight to create carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide as in carbon from the plastics and oxygen from the air. Carbon dioxide. This is the same carbon dioxide that's created with every breath we exhale, and it's also the same carbon dioxide that's created with the burning of fossil fuels that's currently causing climate change. Carbon dioxide by itself isn't inherently hazardous, but too much of anything can be a problem. Larger microplastics will take too long to be broken down into carbon dioxide and will instead be buried by the earth, losing access to air. Without oxygen, these plastics will degrade in a different kind of way. Deep underground, over millions of years, plastics will gradually turn into something resembling the crude oil and coal that we're familiar with today. That means that over millions of years, today's landfills will become tomorrow's oil deposits. I've often imagined a science fiction story told through the lens of crude oil being pumped out of the earth, turned into all kinds of products, only to be thrown away and turned back into crude oil eons later. Through this lens, the pumping, dumping, and repumping of crude oil would reflect the rise and fall of civilizations over millions of years. I'm a scientist, though, not a fiction writer, so I lack the skills to tell that story in a compelling way. For any fiction writers out there, though, feel free to use my idea. Just spell my name right in the acknowledgements. If you'd like to see more of this, I post scripts a few months ahead of all my videos on my free blog. The link to that is in the description. If you found this helpful, I'd like to mention that it's a hard time to be a scientist in the US, and I'm currently unemployed. So if you'd like to support my work, I'd appreciate it if you could send me a few bucks directly through the PayPal link in the description. Remember, science only exists thanks to the collective effort of generations of human history, so the fruits of that labor belong to all of us. Science isn't just for scientists. Science is for everyone, which means science is for you.